I found an NSFW video of my girlfriend and I am struggling with it. How do I approach this? I've been in a relationship with Kat, F26, for a little over 2 years. Extremely satisfied with the relationship, she is just what I didn't know I needed. Small arguments here and there, but the kind that gets sorted with a talk or 2 hours after once we both cool down a bit. She really liked a photo montage I did of our vacations, so I was thinking of doing one from when she was born until the first photo we will take when she moves in with me in February, when her lease will end. For that I needed old photos of her, so I asked her, saying it was for a project. She gave me an external HD, and said the folder marked memories would be filled with all her photos, but they would be out of order, and that there would be photos with her ex-BF from a summer trip they did overseas that she kept for the memories of the trip itself. Yesterday I sat down to start checking the photos. There are a lot of them and they are all out of a specific order, so I was just picking at random. As I was scrolling down, I saw a folder in the middle of the images. Weird name, it had a few brackets and random numbers with letters, but showed it had content in it. I opened it, 2 images and 1 video. The images were a screenshot of some shoes on a shopping app and a selfie with a thumb covering half the lens. Then I get the video. Short, 53 seconds, first 7 or 8 seconds is someone fumbling with what I expect to be a phone. Then the camera moves down and it is Kat back, naked. With the movements and sounds is obvious that this is her having sex with someone. To be clear, this is not proof of cheating. She has a back tattoo, which she has been adding through the years. On the video, it is less complete than when I met her, and her hair is very short. Based on other photos, I would say she was either 18 or 19 years old at the time. Now, we both know that neither of us was a virgin when we met, still it is a little bit unsettling to me to get that knowledge imprinted on my brain with visual aids. OFC, she is not doing anything wrong, but there are 3 things running wild on my mind. First, she was wearing what I can only describe as crotchless panties with a bunny tail, to the side. At one point I could see what looked like a small whip, similar to what the jockeys use. She never showed any inclination for this kind of thing with me, but what is really bothering is that at one point I can see that her right wrist has a handcuff, the kind with fluffy pink hair around, with the other handcuff open at the side. This bothers me, because she absolutely hates to be held in any way by her wrists. The first time I did it during sex, she literally tensed and froze on the spot to the point that I stopped what I was doing to check on her. She told me to never do it again. I actually told her to give me a safe word that night so that if I ever did something that she wasn't comfortable, just say the word and I stop. Fortunately never had to use it to this day. Now my mind is trying to make sense of it and I am getting concerned that she doesn't trust me for some reason, at least not to the point she seems to have trusted this guy. Second, the existence of the video itself. She loves taking photos, but nothing overly sexual. Just some sexy outfits, but even those aren't what I would call too much skin. She is actually pretty flirty and sometimes inappropriate when texting or speaking over the phone, but she told me once to forget any nudes or videos. She won't send them nor let me take them. Really don't mind, I rather see everything live. And now I see a video. Third, and what is bothering me the most. I'm almost 100% sure the guy is a friend of hers, Mark M26. At the end of the video, when he goes to shut the recording, he points the camera to his wrist. There is a tattoo there that is the same as Mark's. I highly doubt she met 2 guys with the same tattoo in the same place. And they have been friends since the first year of college, so it matches the time frame. This is not someone that I am gonna say, oh they are BFFs, they are always together and spend time alone in their apartments. They see each other maybe once a month, when their group gathers for dinner or drinks. I actually go with her more often than not. I've been going crazy trying to replay their interactions, looking for any signs that I may have missed something other than friendship, but honestly, I am coming up empty. He also has a GF and he looks at her the same way I look at mine. I don't expect Kat to tell me every hookup and relationship she had in the past, but with someone that she sees with some regularity, I would expect a heads up of some sort. Especially because it seems more than just a casual thing, looking at the setup. This is driving me mad. My actual brain knows she has done nothing wrong and that I am probably overreacting, but my body's stress response right now is through the roof. I know that I'll need to speak to her tomorrow before I let this pen up more. Already had a bad night's sleep, Tonight I don't expect it to be better, and I am concerned that having this conversation without a clear mind may actually cause issues that I really don't want to have. And honestly, I am a bit scared to go deeper into this rabbit hole. The number of people with the idea that I want to do BDSM with my GF and that I am salty about her doing it with someone else. Never did, it is not something I can see enjoying, so I would only do it to an extent if I was asked. My issue is, if she is interested in this, why hasn't she approached the subject in a 2-year relationship? And it doesn't help matter that this doesn't seem to be an ex but one of her friends, which either is in fact an ex and she hid that from me when we talked about past relationships at the beginning of our own, or had a FWB situation or whatever else happened there. Is not having context to the video that is causing my mind spinning, and that is why I need to speak with her before the dam bursts, and that is why I reached out for advice to at least not make this shit worse than it already is. And no, I didn't go through her phone to get pictures, I asked her for pictures, and she gave me an external hard disk and told me in which folder to get them. The HD had other folders, I didn't open them, the video was inside a strangely named folder inside the memories folder. I am talking to her tonight after she comes back from work. She already knows something is not right. I couldn't sleep yesterday, and she came back to see why I wasn't in bed that late. This morning, she checked on me. You are not been yourself for the last 2 days, is there something going on? I just told her that I am feeling stressed, without an apparent reason, and not to worry. No point on a conversation before she leaves for work. I'd like to thank all the people who gave actual advice on what I asked in my post instead of judging me for whatever reason they found worthy of judgment. The advice of listening to her instead of turning the conversation into an interrogation that was pointed to me by several people prevented me from actually complicating our talk. TLDR for those who just want the outcome, after our talk I feel I got what I needed to gain a solid footing and we are still together. Not gonna pretend that it is all roses and sunshine. There is some trust that needs to be rebuilt and I still need to process the image of the video. It is still fresh so my brain keeps pushing it forward, but I feel that I just need some time to let my brain shake it off. The original post was long, this update might be a bit as well. She read this before I posted, so all I've written was with her consent. Got a call from an old friend of mine to check up on me because my GF had called him worried about my behavior for the last 2 days. When I said that it was something that I would need to talk to her, he said, "That is fine, just remember that Kat is not Mary, an ex of mine. Don't bring that baggage with you, if you have an issue talk it out but don't put on your GF someone else's blame." It was like a light switch that flipped. I had been so freaked out that didn't even realize that a lot of what I was feeling was past trauma that was being brought up front and boosting my reactions, basically afraid of going through something similar again. When she got home she was already wanted to speak with me. I told her that if she wanted to take a shower I would make some tea and we would talk. I told her that I loved her, I wasn't accusing her of anything or mad at her. I was going through something and she was the only one I could speak that could help me move past it. That I needed her to be honest and not try to hide things from me. Once she agreed, I just asked, when you gave me the external HD for me to get those photos, were you aware that there is a video in there of you and someone that I think is Mark having sex? That is not possible, I deleted that years ago. That is what she said before breaking down in tears. She hugged me, I hugged back by instinct mostly. In between the sobbing and crying she begged me to not get mad and let her explain. I repeated that I wasn't mad. I would hear what she wanted to say, she just needed to be honest with me. Once she calmed down, she told me that it happened around 3 weeks after her 19th birthday. She had broken up with her high school BF about 2 months prior. They were both pretty drunk hanging out at her apartment living room after a night out and things just escalated into physical. She said that the next morning, they both felt extremely self-conscious about the all thing. Mark was really freaked out that she might think he had taken advantage of her because she had a recent breakup. She was concerned that Mark had feelings for her because she only saw him as a friend. They ended up agreeing that it was a drunken hookup that none of them wanted to follow up on. At one point Mark asked her if she remembered making a video. They checked both their phones and there was a video and photo on her phone that she deleted then. She never saw them again and believed them to be gone. According to her, they even avoided each other for the next couple of months, because of the awkwardness, and nothing else happened. I had been watching her while she spoke. She kept eye contact while speaking, and seemed tense, but nothing unexpected. All in all, I saw no reason not to believe her. The handcuffs and all? Joke birthday gift from her girlfriends, it just happened to be there when they went to the room and they thought it would be fun to open the set. We only talked about this yesterday. At the time I had other more pressing questions. As for not telling me in the first place, when she started dating her ex, Mark was out of the country, so she never mentioned that happening to her ex. When Mark came back, her ex was already showing signs of being jealous and controlling without much reason, so she decided no to throw gasoline into the fire. Mark started dating a girl and mentioned that they had been together once a long time ago, because she asked. His GF told her ex-BF in the middle of a group outing. Her ex exploded, and she ended up breaking up with him. Things went a bit out of control to the verge of harassment/stalking. Mark relationship imploded sometime later because the girl saw Kat breaking up with her ex as proof that she has feelings for you and became a bit crazy. She never told me because, in the beginning, she wasn't sure how I would react and was afraid I would go her ex path. And by the time she figured I wouldn't go that path, it had been so long that she just let it go. She apologized, admitted that was a bad call on her part, and should have told me and let me decide how comfortable I was with it. When she spoke about her ex being abusive, I gently asked if he was the reason for her issue with being held by the wrists. He wasn't. He was verbally and psychologically abusive, but was never physical. It was someone else after she broke up with her ex, someone who belonged to her friend's group. Apparently, he had a secret crush on her, was drunk at a party, they were alone in a small balcony, and she friend-zoned him when he proposed. He got close, she placed her hands on his chest to try and stop him, and he held her by the wrists and pinned her against a wall. One of her friends saw it through the window and helped. The guy was cut off by the friends group, and the last time she knew, he left to work somewhere else. Still, she was aware that if they were alone it might have been a lot worse, and when I did it to her it was just a response to the memory. Also, this actually explains some behaviors of hers when we started dating. She looked like she needed time to make sure she was comfortable to be alone with me, and now I know why. After this I was drained. Well, I guess anyone that actually read this far will be as well. I went silent for a good while, just replaying everything. She came to me, held my hands, and apologized again, said she couldn't make what I saw disappear, but it was really in the past and she just needed me to tell her what else she could do to make things easier for me. Honestly, at that point, my brain was shot. Then she did something that caught me completely off guard. She called Mark on the phone, placed him on loudspeaker while motioning me to be quiet, and asked him if he could speak or was close to his GF. His reply was, to me telling, he said, "That is an odd thing to ask, I am alone, is something wrong?" She told him that I had seen the video. Basically, the entirety of the conversation confirmed everything she told me. I didn't say anything, so he didn't know I was listening. After freaking out with "I saw you delete that shit," he referred to it as a one-time meaningless thing and a drunk hookup that keeps coming back to haunt us. Was also worried that I would tell his GF like my crazy ex. So after all this, she asked me if I needed space, but I told her I wanted her near. If she didn't want to be with me in bed, I could sleep in my study, but she wanted to be close as well. We spent yesterday together, didn't go to the party as it was planned, talked, and just kept each other close. She and Mark will take a break on their friendship, he told his GF, which took it better than me, but they decided some distance is better at this point. My GF also offered to only go out with the group with me present regardless of Mark being there or not. Other than that, I just asked her to give me some time and to not try initiate sex for now. I want to be completely clear-minded and release this stress that built up before that. This is it, gonna take some time, but I feel that I have the ground under my feet, so I am optimistic. I think that now, after talking it out, I just need a bit of time to let it settle. And that's it for today. If you enjoyed this story, don't forget to like, subscribe, and join us next time for more Reddit gems. See you in the next one.